Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And now, my question of today is: what is your favorite cryptocurrency? Put it down below in the comment section. I'm really interested to see which coin you guys support the most. Allegedly fraudulent crypto exchange shut down by the UK High Court. The UK Insolvency Service claimed that GPay is nothing but a scam after conducting confidential inquiries. Now, one thing that really came to mind when reading through this article is that there are many more exchanges out there that are actually scams which you don't really see on the service just too easily. And really, the only reason you'll find out is once they become illiquid or insolvent and you've lost your money, or when they just exit scam and all of a sudden close their website. And one of the things you should be doing, really, that's advice for everybody, maybe not financial advice, but really just real advice personal to all of y'all, is whenever you're not trading it, and if it's, more than, let's say, 1/3 of your whole balance, take it off of the exchange. Take it out of there, put it into a wallet, preferably a hardware wallet like the one in the description below, which I personally use, the ones from Ledger. Put it in there because that's where your money is going to be safe. If it's on an exchange, it is really technically not your money because, you've sent your dollars, let's say, for example, your Bitcoin from your own wallet to their wallet, so from your address to their address, and basically, it's kind of gone now until they send it back, right? So to a certain degree, it's not really your money anymore, and you should really watch out with that type of stuff because there are really a lot of scams out there, so watch out from it. Banned YouTuber raises $60,000 in Bitcoin Cash from supporters. 3 fans donated 300 Bitcoin Cash to Stephen Molyneux, who was banned from YouTube for hate speech. YouTube banned Stephen Molyneux's channel for violating its hate speech policy. PayPal cut off his account in November, and a dozen of fans were responding by sending him Bitcoin Cash. So again, you can read the story a little bit more in here. I want to keep it a little bit shorter because, it's a pretty heavy story, and it's a really heavy opinion is to be found in this article as well, because I think a lot of people will be, disagreeing with it right here. But basically, one of the things I've noticed here is that he's gotten banned from YouTube, but because he has a website and, he still wants to continue it on, people are sending him tons of donations now to support his cause, which is really interesting in my opinion. Because what it shows is, first of all, that YouTube, can shut you down whenever they want to, and really, you have to abide by their rules. Same goes for PayPal. And even though I might not agree with his opinions here, it's still difficult to say whether or not somebody should be, allowed to form their opinion on a platform or not. But that's a whole different debate. What I find cool, though, to a certain degree, again, not trying to say I agree with his opinions at all. Please don't take it the wrong way. What I find cool about this, though, is that it's still possible to receive donations, really, really huge ones, completely decentralized, completely without anybody else having a say in it. He got himself $60,000 in donations of just like 20 people or so. Really quite a lot of money from some, higher net worth individuals, most likely. But he got so much money while most of his sources are cut off, right? And that's also the fun or cool part about crypto. Even if you don't have a bank account, even if you have no phone, nothing, somebody can still send you money. Even if you don't have an identity at all, you don't need anything. You don't need to be written in anywhere. You don't even need to exist to be able to receive crypto, which is really kind of cool. I guess the same goes for cash, but then you have to physically see each other, or I guess mail it over. But this can be done almost instantly across the world. It's crazy, guys. It's really, really crazy. All right, let's move forward though. Bitcoin is waiting for a trigger to bring back volatility. Is this it? Bitcoin has set an unprecedentedly low level of volatility, and for weeks, Bitcoin continues to trade within a tight range. Though crucial support has held, bulls have failed to break above local resistance. Now, what I find interesting with articles like this is Well, we're waiting for a trigger to bring back volatility? Why would we really want that volatility so much in the first place? And is it really safe to assume that it's not volatile at this point? Or is it something else they're really missing? Well, what I'm personally, fetching or understanding from their article and their way of writing is that they're trying to say here, we're waiting for some really big price movements, and that means getting Bitcoin out of this $8,500 to $9,900 range and getting it to some point either very far above $10,000 or very far below it because, well, we're kind of tired. And I personally really could not disagree more, where I'm like, please let us stay in this range for just a little bit longer because it's really a good accumulation point. As I've told you guys before in my videos, I would always state that, buying below $10,000 Bitcoin is pretty damn juicy, if I if I do say so myself. I think it's a pretty good deal. And the longer it stays below here, I think the more chance people have to accumulate some more, which is, again, really, really nice. XRP is the STD of crypto. It just won't disappear, says Trader. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying these episodes, don't forget to support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. And I'm also wondering what you guys think about this. Do you also think XRP is bad, useless, stupid, or do you guys love it? Put it in the comment section down below what you think. According to trader Don Alt, might as well embrace XRP when they start going off. Trader Crypto Whale also believes the future for XRP investors will be prosperous, but only after former CTO Jeff McCaleb is no longer in possession of billions of XRP. Max Payne is zero volatility. I feel like the buzz generally has died out a lot in the couple of years, and it's only getting worse. Not sure if bullish or bearish, said trader Don Alt. Actually, mostly on Bitcoin though. But this may be the case for retail investors, as trader Ledger Status points out how the macro buzz is picking up and ultra loose monetary policies have people turning into Bitcoin. This situation could be bad for Bitcoin given the low level of volatility seen in gold once the retail mania ended. Retails is what made this market great in the past, and I hope it stays that way, said Don Alt. Agree, it's best when retail driven. Inflation fears can absolutely drive a markup cycle though. Gold is on cusp of USD all-time high, and that, in my opinion, can by itself help drive Bitcoin as well. Retail enhances pumps. They don't have to start them, is what Ledger Status feels. That's a little bit of an opinion on Bitcoin, but I find it a really, really interesting one, so I thought it would be cool to share. XRP pays for institutional interest. So, while the flagship crypto, Bitcoin, is getting significant attention from institutional investors, when it comes to altcoins, the traders only sees it happening in regards to XRP. According to Don Alt, there is definitely some interest from the institutions, but the downside is that XRP pays for that interest. But that's just how altcoins work. Crowdfund, pay someone to use that coin, advertise it to some people to make them buy in, pay people to use it, and repeat. He has a certain point, if you think about it. He has a very good point, actually, because what he says right here is that Ripple, I think, as an entity, out of their 1 billion XRP that they, get out of escrow each month, of which a part they use for XRP ecosystem, they are paying companies to use XRP. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Is it a bad thing? No, not at all. Because otherwise, well, I think it will be a lot more difficult for many players to utilize XRP once the ball hasn't started rolling. And I also think it's an incentivization, if that's a real word, to get these people to kind of become the first adopters, the first 1% to show the rest that it's good and possible. Because at this point, it's already there, but Ripple's ODL has been here for like a year, two. It's been here for 1.5 really. By the way, I'm seeing a hedgehog. I see a hedgehog. How often do you see that, guys? That's fun. But yeah, ODL has been here for 1.5 years, and thus, for really the traditional system, it's just a little bit of a baby. It's just starting out. It's just so ridiculously small. And thus, a lot of these guys, they're not that eager to hop on unless many people have played on it before, tried it out. And we're still in the early phases, so I think it's a really, really good idea and gesture. However, they're also saying his theory for the downtrend is that the owners are suppressing the price to ensure co-founder Jeb McCaleb's selling doesn't have a major impact on the future growth, he said in his latest analysis. And that's something I actually attach a lot of value to right now. This opinion is something that I have actually not thought about before myself, and that is that Ripple is trying to keep the price of XRP down right now, whilst Jeb McCaleb has been selling every single day to make sure that it doesn't have a big effect on the price in the future. Wow, it's an interesting one. It's a really interesting one to think about. Yeah. It's a really interesting one to think about. Now, they're also stating here that XRP price dropped 40% after McCaleb announced his intention to sell all of his holdings that he had from Ripple. But again, I don't think it makes that much of an impact anymore, my personal self. However, I don't know if the selling that he's doing is ever going to stop, actually. Because, he's going to keep selling his billions of coins, which will take a very, very long time because he can only sell parts of it. But it's only like 0.01% of the volume, which means there's a constant downwards pressure, but it's almost ignorable, or how is it like? Neglectable, because it's just so little. And that's what I'm wondering about a little bit. But he also says, I dislike XRP as much as anyone on here, but they've got money and the connections to make that money work. It's the STD of crypto, as it just won't disappear. Might as well embrace it. When they start going off, they're doing what everyone else is doing. They're just an easy target, countered Don Alt as a response to Trader Ledger status that is of the same opinion, as he thinks Jig is up on XRP, which will continue to underperform. Yeah, it's an interesting debate, which nobody has the answer to, because there are no answers to it all. It's just a little bit of a back and forward type of deal. And what I always tell you guys is you have a choice. You have a choice to believe in it right now or to reject it right now. And if you believe in it, you buy in it, you hold, you wait. You may be prosper, you may be, cry in a corner because you've lost all your money. But that's basically your two options. I've personally decided to believe in it and put my faith in it and go for it. I bought some coins that I'm holding through and seeing what it's going to bring. Or you can hate on it, you don't buy into it, you buy some other coins and you just leave it be. So the second option is pretty damn simple, just like that. Now, whether or not it's the STD of crypto, whether or not it has, some bad things to it like that, it doesn't really matter in the end if you're here for the money. And it also doesn't really matter if you're here for the tech either. It's really just kind of a moral thing, possibly. I don't really even know why it would matter that it doesn't. What is exactly the purpose of that statement here? What does it add? He just dislikes XRP for not that good of a reason, except for that they pay for institutional investors and that one of the founders has been selling a lot of it, right? What else are they hating upon it for now? That it's underperforming? Is that a reason to hate the coin? I think you're just hating the performance of the coin. That's a completely different thing. And again, that made me wonder exactly as well. Why would I sell the coins now? Why would I stop holding? I think personally, again, it's only going to be that way that I'm going to stop holding through it. Yeah, I think it's the same that like I've always been telling you guys. If Ripple were to really go berserk and start selling heavily on us, not explaining anything anymore, selling really, really hard every single month, or if XRP were to be declared a security, I just don't know what would happen to the price, but that might make me sell. I don't know just too sure just quite yet. And maybe there are a couple of other ones. Like, for example, if XRP keeps falling for the next 2 years, it doesn't ever move up anymore, and it's now at the 15th spot, we might have to reconsider. I'm always real like that, and I'll tell you guys exactly what I'm doing with all of these coins, because, why not, right? A lot of you guys hate and say I'm just making these videos for some stupid reason. No, I'm telling you guys my story through all of this investing and giving some crypto news along the way as well. And that's what I'm going to be doing, holding through right now, going to be seeing what they have to bring for us in the near future. And I'll react accordingly. But for right now, just holding through, fine. I've made my choice. And I recommend you guys to also pick one of the two. Either you hold it or you don't. And again, the mindset behind it is really, really simple. If you believe in it for the longer term, really recommend picking some up. Not financial advice, by the way. If you really have your doubt, either get a little bit or don't get anything at all, because it might hurt you in the end if the price falls low. But never get more than you can, that you can lose. Cardano's Shelly mainnet to launch soon. We all know that. Cardano launches Shelly mainnet 2 days before the virtual summit, which again I'm really interested to check out because well, it might have some really crazy announcements. And best crypto to invest in June 2020, the 4 coins you should have in your portfolio. Well, one thing I wanted to add here for XRP specifically is actually a fun thing that a lot of people tell me, buy the dip, or why are you buying Chainlink at the top, or why do you ever buy cryptos when they're high up in price? And I guess that is the only thing that, no coin can beat XRP at. There's no coin where you can buy a better bottom than with XRP right now. It's been falling for such a long time is what you've always been telling me. So if you ever want to buy the bottom, well, XRP might be a very good spot. May not be the lowest bottom, but it's a bottom all right. It's a low point all right. Guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another one. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day.